Welcome to everyone who has joined us today for our annual general meeting. Really appreciate you taking the time to do so. My name is Chuck. I am the Executive Director of Central Counties Tourism. We are the provincially funded not-for-profit dedicated to developing, supporting, and promoting the visitor assets in all of Durham region, all of York region, and the Headwaters tourism region. So without any further ado, let's get right into it. Let's do the land acknowledgement. We affirm that we are all treaty people and acknowledge that Central Counties Tourism operates within the ancestral territory and treaty lands of the Hiawatha First Nation, Curve Lake First Nation, Alderville First Nation, Mississaugas of Scugog First Nation, Mississaugas of the Credit First Nation, Mississaugas First Nation, the Anishinaabeg, the Chippewa of Georgina, the Haudenosaunee, and the Huron-Wendat peoples, and is now home to diverse First Nations, Inuit, and Métis peoples. Central Counties Tourism resides in the Dish with One Spoon area. Dish with One Spoon is an ancestral legal agreement between the governing bodies of the Wendat, Neutral, Anishinaabeg, and the Haudenosaunee people regarding the use of the land's resources, their commitment to future generations' needs from the land, and that the Dish with One Spoon Wampum Belt Treaty is the oldest physical evidence in the world of a civilization having a high level of understanding of environmental resource management that informs the indenturing of rights of the environment and the future generations directly into their legal code. Now, before we go on, I would like to make sure that everyone knows that it is National Indigenous History Month with a lot going on June the 21st. Please check our event calendar for everything happening for National Indigenous Heritage Month, History Month, and it's also Pride Month, celebrating the 2SLGBTQIA+, and we have a ton of events happening. A lot have already happened, and a lot more are happening throughout. So, our event calendar is awesome. If you're not using it, you absolutely should be. So for today's AGM, which is obviously the most formal of all of the meetings we do in the year, I'm going to pass this over to our chair, Angela, in a second, but we'll have our call to order. Then Angela will provide a welcome. We'll do the approval of the 2026 AGM agenda, approval of the 2025 AGM minutes, the 25-26 audit presentation, approval of the audited statements, appointment of the auditors, reading of the slate of directors, approval of the slate of directors, director recognition, and then adjournment of the formal portion. If all goes well, we could be done that in 20 minutes. We'll have to see how that goes. And then the staff will be doing a bit of a year in review. For everyone who is on the call in the meeting, it's important to note that the only voting members of Central Counties Tourism are the board themselves. So when we are calling for the votes, you don't need to worry about putting up your hand or anything. It's only the people that are the board of directors who will be voting. And with that, I think I've done all the housekeeping notes, and I will pass it over to Angela.
Good morning, everyone. Thank you so much, Chuck. For those of you who may not know me, my name is Angela Paletto, and I have the privilege of serving as chair for the Central Counties Tourism Board. It is a pleasure to welcome you to this year's AGM, and thank you all for joining us this morning as we reflect on the past, celebrate our accomplishments, and look ahead to the opportunities before us. On behalf of the Board of Directors, thank you for continuing to support Central Counties Tourism, our partnerships, and commitment to strengthening tourism across our region. As we gather today, I want to begin by expressing my sincere gratitude to our staff team, our Board of Directors, and all of you as our stakeholders who contribute to the success of our visitor economy. This past year has reminded us that what truly defines Central Counties Tourism is not just our programs, our initiatives, but our people. Tourism is built on connections, experiences, and relationships, and we're fortunate to work with an incredible network of partners and stakeholders who help make our region thrive. To the CCT staff, Jessica, Rebecca, Katie, Lisa, Sandra, Sarah Sue, and Tom, thank you. Your dedication, professionalism, and passion are at the heart of everything we accomplish. The success we celebrate today are a direct reflection of your hard work and commitment. I do want to recognize one of our staff who has just joined us, um, Rebecca Lenman. And Rebecca and her unique journey with Central Counties Tourism. Rebecca first engaged with CCT as a stakeholder, then served as a member of on our board of directors, and now is our field manager. If there is ever an example of the strength and value that Rebecca brings to this organization, it is the journey she has been through. She brings experience from every side of our organization, and we are fortunate to benefit from her insight, expertise, and commitment. This year, we had to say goodbye to two staff members, one, Sarah, and recently, Adriana. While we are sad to see Adriana leave, we are incredibly grateful for her contributions and proud to see her take the next step in her career. We wish her every success. For those of you who have been following along and working with our staff, you know that this is not the first time we have lost one of our staff members to other organizations. And moments like these remind us of the culture we have built here at Central Counties Tourism. We are proud to see people grow, develop, and go on to other leadership opportunities throughout our sector. Much of that credit really belongs to Chuck, whose commitment to mentoring and developing talent has helped so many advance in their careers. Chuck, thank you for your passion, leadership, and unwavering commitment to our stakeholders and this organization. Your vision continues to guide us forward, and on behalf of the board, are deeply appreciative of all you do. We are also excited to welcome Mohamed Ejnar to the team. We're confident that his work will help grow the AVTR1 sales, and I encourage you all to connect with Mohamed to learn more about how this initiative can support your business and enhance visitor engagement. As a board, we're proud to work closely with Chuck and the team to ensure our organization remains focused on you, the stakeholder, strategic, responsive to the needs of you. We believe in focusing our efforts where they can have the greatest impact and delivering meaningful results for the communities and businesses we serve. As you will hear from Chuck and the team today, it has been a busy and productive year. With many accomplishments we're celebrating and more excitement to come. However, for this next little bit is for you, the stakeholders. Everything we do at Central Counties Tourism is driven by our commitment to supporting our stakeholder success, your success. We encourage you to take advantage of the programs, services, events, partnership opportunities, all the resources that Chuck has mentioned and will be mentioning as we move forward, available to you as our stakeholder. Our team is here to help you build connections, strengthen your marketing efforts, and identify opportunities and grow your business. We recognize that many businesses and organizations continue to face a challenging economic landscape. While there are certainly obstacles ahead, please know that you're not alone. We're here to help you to navigate and provide you with industry connections, training opportunities, partnership initiatives, and business development. Please reach out to your field managers. Your passion, innovation, and dedication to creating exceptional visitor experiences are what make this region special. The more you engage with us, the more value you can gain from being part of the Central Counties tourism community. I did want to mention that also highlight, to our outgoing board members, John, Charles, and Benny. Thank you for your services and contributions. Your leaderships has helped shape a strong and successful organization. And to our new board members, Mike, Azim, and Jonathan, welcome. We look forward to working with you and benefiting from your perspective and expertise. It is truly a privilege to serve alongside such a dedicated board and an exceptional staff team. Together, we remain committed to building stronger visitor economies, supporting our communities, and creating opportunities for growth across our region. Thank you again for being here today and for your support and being part of Central County's team. With that, I would like to have the first motion that the Board of Directors approves the agenda as presented on June 17th, 2026. Motion, Jim Beachy.
I'll make that motion, yeah.
Thank you. Second,
By Carol.
Carol Maitland, all in favor? Thank you. Motion passed. The second motion is that the Board of Directors approve the AGM minutes of June 18th, 2025. Motion, Emily, thank you. And second, Jerry, thank you. Now I will gladly pass the mic over to Jim to take us through our finances.
Thanks, Angela. Just before I introduce Samuel, just on a couple of comments. Central Counties, as you know, it works on funding from the ministry, and our finances are limited and been capped at a fixed amount for a number of years now. So really, the financing of our organization and the manage of it really is a staff function, and I have to really acknowledge and thank the staff for their support in continually adjusting the budget as we move through the year to make sure that we can continue to deliver the services that we are expected to do, and it was been outlined by Angela and Chuck a few moments ago. And the Finance Committee, of course, we meet quarterly or maybe 5 times a year in some cases to review the budget and how things are progressing. And I must say it's been a pleasure to do that with this team. And I have to really make a special acknowledgement to our Director of Operations, Katie, who really rides herd on the finances and makes sure that we're all in line and expectations are being met and budgets are being adhered to. So with that, I'd like to turn to Samuel van der Baren from MNP LLP, who will kind of present the audited statements for this year. Thanks. Samuel?
Thanks, Jim, and thanks, Chuck, for the invite to the AGM as always.
And Sam, you just tell me when you want me to advance.
For sure, thanks. So as mentioned, my name is Samuel van der Baren, and I'm here representing MNP LLP as the auditors for Central Counties Tourism, and we're reporting on the 2025 through 2026 financial statements. And you can proceed to the next slide. So we've completed our audit report of the financial statements of Central Counties Tourism and have signed our independent auditor's report. And our report has provided an unmodified audit opinion, which essentially means all good, all clean. So as the auditors, our responsibility is to report to the members on the fair presentation of the financial statements. And we've provided a detailed report of our audit findings to management and the board of directors. We've completed our audit of the financial statements of Central Counties Tourism for the year ended March 31st, 2026, and our audit was carried out in accordance with Canadian auditing standards. Just some significant audit materials to go through. So the following matters arose through the course of the audit that we wish to bring to the attention of the board and the members. So there were no significant limitations or difficulties encountered in the scope of our audit. And while there are inherent limitations in the course of an audit that can impact the ability to identify fraud, including attempts at concealment or forgery, during the course of our audit, we did not identify any suspected or actual instances of fraud, which came to our attention. And then in terms of compliance with laws and regulations, nothing has come to our attention that would suggest any non-compliance with laws and regulations that would have a material impact on the financial statements. And so the Canadian public sector accounting standards allow us and require us to make certain accounting estimates and judgments regarding the policies and financial statement disclosures. So just some more significant items to note. The policies used by Central Counties Tourism appear appropriate and have been consistently applied throughout the year. And the disclosures made in the notes to the financial statements appear clear, neutral, and consistent with our understanding of Central Counties Tourism and the amounts presented on the financial statements. So just to quickly run through the financial results, as Jim mentioned, the funding received from the ministry in the year remains unchanged as it has been for the last several years, which has led to certain other services being provided over the years to supplement the revenues received and continue to provide great service for the central counties. So in terms of total revenue collected for the year, we're sitting at about 2.25 million, with the vast majority still provided by the Ministry of Tourism, Culture and Gaming. And then in terms of expenses, in line with the budget for the year, total expenses for the year was about 2.21 million, resulting in a total excess of revenue over expenses of just under 45,000 for the year. And then just to quickly take a look at the assets, liabilities, and overall net assets of Central Counties Tourism. Cash sitting just slightly above the year as a result of that net asset increase. So an increase of about 40,000 there. And next slide, please. So just wrapping up here. So certain written requests were and representations were requested from management, which act as confirmation of certain oral representations that were given to us during the course of the audit. And this letter has been provided in our materials to the board of directors. And finally, I'd just like to confirm to the board of directors and the members that we as the auditors are independent from Central Counties Tourism, and our official letter has been provided in the materials to the board of directors. So thanks again for the opportunity to present the audited results here.
Perfect.
Thank you. I'd like to make a motion that the audit of financial statements for the year ended March 21st, 2026 be approved. Can I have somebody make that motion?
I think we got Ross,
And seconder?
Vicky.
Okay, thank you. Everybody in favor?
Perfect. Okay, back to you, Angela.
Wonderful. So I would like to take this time to announce the proposed slate of directors. So this is the slate of directors for 2026, 2027. Ashley Angeloni from Tourism Vaughan, Jim Beachy, Georgina, Chamber of Commerce, Jeffrey Bursey, Vintage Hotels, the Millcroft Inn and Spa, Lori Fedema, Slaptown Cider and Company, Angela Haynes, Town of Aurora, Martin Coupri, the Alton Mills Art Center, Christina Liu, Town of Stouffville, Ross Martins Lomez, Nuzo Nokian Limited Partnership, Carol Maitland, Town of Shelburne, myself, Angela Paletto, McMichael Canadian Art Collection, Emily Quinton, Town of Caledon, Jackie Severs, Durham Tourism, Azim Shah, Destination Pickering, Jerry Smith, Village at Black Creek, Toronto Region Conservation, Vicky Sword, Town of Orangeville, Jonathan Weedle, York Region, Mike Whiston, Uxbridge Tourism Advisory Committee, and non-voting members Aruba Ahmed of Ministry of Tourism, Culture and Gaming, and Carol Greenwood, Tourism Industry Association of Ontario. Can I have a motion that the Board of Directors approves a slate of directors to serve on the 2026-2027 Central Counties Tourism Board as of June 17th, 2026? Can I have a motion, please?
You've got
Thank
Martin.
you, Martin. And second, Lori, thank you. All in favor? Thank you. Motion passed. Over to you, Chuck.
Oh, okay. So I get the honor of recognizing and thanking some of our directors who have served their 6 years on the board, which has been fantastic. John has been really instrumental with us in helping us determine how best to always make sure we're including an overnight, and how do we work with the hotels, how do we work with the clusters of hotels and that sort of thing. So he has been very instrumental. He sat on several committees and was been very active, and we're going to miss him. And Charles has been on our board for forever as the York Region rep and is moving on. Or he has, geez, I think over the years has been over 10 years on and off between stints, and always does his best to ensure that what we're doing as central counties rolls up into their strategic plan at York Region to try to do their best as a region to also support the visitor economy. I think it's been a tough slog in York, and he's done a very good job. And then special thanks to Benny. He came on just last year, and his workload just became too much, so he was sort of in and out in a year. But we certainly did appreciate he sat on the finance committee and a few others, and I think that it was nice to have a fresh set of eyes to figure out how do we, were there things that we should change as a newbie coming in? What didn't he understand? And we quite appreciated it. And that's it for me.
All right. So can I have a motion that with no further business arising, the Board of Directors hereby adjourns the formal business AGM meeting? Motion, Ashley.
Ashley. And that's
Thank
it. You don't need to do anything after that.
Wonderful.
Ashley,
now over to the fun part.
I was gonna say you took Ryan's job from the Attractions Ontario board meetings. He always gets to adjourn those. Okay, so let's see here. No, now you're on to me. So now we are into the fun part. Everyone can take a deep breath. We can relax. We can have a good time. We want to just give an update of how things went last year and let the staff do some talking, because not everyone here gets to see the staff all the time. So I get to start, so you get to see me all the time. Let's start with numbers. Look at those numbers. They're huge. So $3.7 billion in spending within central counties in 2025. That's a 6.5% increase over 2024. These numbers are doing very well on the provincial scale. We are ahead of the curve. We are doing more. You, as our stakeholders, are doing more to drive people in, and it is working. So we've got basically everything's up. I'm just going to let you guys read that for a second, but that's huge money. And this is what we keep telling the ministry every single time that I have a soapbox and an open mic. I make sure that the ministry recognizes that the provincial sales tax alone of what we generated for them, we being you, the stakeholders and the businesses generated for them, pays for basically the entire Ministry of Tourism's budget. Just us. And we're one of 13 of the RTOs. It boggles my mind that we are constantly having to justify our existence, not central counties, but our businesses and how important they are to the fabric of our communities across the province. And I'm not going to jump on a soapbox, but let me tell you, if you will send this slide out to everyone, if you want to stir the pot a bit, send this to your MPP and ask what they're doing to support that much spending. How are they supporting it? Because if we're paying for the entire ministry budget just in the provincial tax that we're accumulating, how is it that we've stayed stagnant? How is it that our municipalities aren't getting additional funds to help them build out their tourism assets and all of that sort of stuff? Anyway, it's just such a big number. All right, our overnight visitation, it was also an increase over about 20.2 million nights and 11.7 million overnight trips. So if it's 11.7, that means most trips are 2 nights on average, which is kind of cool. Well, it probably says that up there. Yeah, 1.7. So we did a great job of capturing Ontarians, which is sort of our strength, right? We have so much going on in our region. People don't like to stay in Toronto as often as they used to because the prices are high and it's congested. They are staying in our region and maybe doing a day trip in to Toronto, but we were up 11.3%. Now, the rest of the Canada, we were down, and the US, we were down as well. And the US was sort of expected because of the tensions that are going on. But overall, we had a 4.5% increase, which is huge. And so I want to thank everyone that's on this call, and obviously, and all of your peers and all of your contacts that are within this industry, because it's because of you that we are being able to report these phenomenal numbers. My suggestion is keep in touch with everyone that's in your community that is in this same business. They are not your competitors. They're your best friends, and they're the ones that you should be talking with to try to figure out how do you work together to keep people in your town longer and spending more money, because it's working. It's working. The numbers are showing it. We see this happening in communities around central counties. We were just at a phenomenal networking event in Stouffville last week, and we watched live as a bunch of attractions got together and just started to talk about how they were going to cross promote each other so that people would come to them one week and then go to the other guy the next week, and so on and so forth. These are really simple things that will help all of us grow our businesses and be more successful. And your success is what I get to report back up to the ministry. And that's your success is what keeps us alive and well, and doing what we do to try to keep helping you grow your businesses. And with that, I will jump down off of my soapbox, at least momentarily, and I'm going to pass it over to Sarah, who's going to talk about golf in Ontario and then what's happening in York Region.
Thanks, Chuck. So for those of you who don't know me, I'm Sarah Sterling. I'm the York Region Industry Relations Manager or Field Manager. And I also, in addition to York, I work in the Golf Ontario portfolio, which is essentially just being the connection with Brad, who manages the program. So in 2025, we had an amazing year. Over 3,000 travelers booked. A lot of groups booked. When you look at the revenue, it's crazy. Almost $2.6 million, and rounds of golf, over 6,000, 2,000 room nights booked. And these are, everybody says, oh, you can just go and golf anywhere and book a hotel yourself. But the fact that we're offering these pre-made packages for people, and the level of customer service that Brad's team offers, he gets repeats constantly year over year. And he's got people coming from the UK, all over the States, everywhere. It's really, really turning our area into quite a golf destination. In 2026, just the first 4 months of the year, already at 1,700 travelers and 176 groups. So, and by group, that's like 8 people or more usually. So it's crazy, the growth. I've been with the organization 3.5 years. Every year it just jumps and jumps and jumps. So it really is a great program. And, as Chuck just mentioned, it's also more and more people staying in Canada, not going to the States. And these are local people as well, like as in within Ontario. So great program.
Yeah. And the total revenue is just trackable. So it's just what they spent on the rounds of golf and the hotel rooms. So you can imagine what those 3,000 people also spent within the communities that they were staying.
Exactly. And in York, so recap of last year, we had a great year. We do have 9 municipalities. So on a quarterly basis, I meet with my contact in each municipality. We all get on a call together and share information, which is awesome because there's usually different things that happen in that meeting where you didn't know somebody was doing it and you can benefit from it. So a lot of good sharing there. The town of Aurora and the town of Stouffville had adopted their community tourism plans, and Christina, who is on our board and was with Georgina, is now with Stouffville as a result. So that's awesome. Partnerships, we've had a ton of partnerships, great events and projects. Vaughan Film Festival, Unionville revitalization, their whole Main Street was done and we helped them with marketing on that. A cultural passport in Richmond Hill, Jazzlicious, Aurora events, Newmarket events, it goes on and on. Networking, we've been doing a lot of networking events, which again, Chuck just mentioned Stouffville last week was awesome. We also last summer held a region-wide event, which was hotels and attractions and having them meet. Because I think, as everybody knows in York Region too, it's the municipalities tend to blend together, right? There's no line between Aurora and Newmarket. There's almost no line between Markham and Stouffville now. Randy from Destination Markham and Christina from Stouffville work together a lot, and Randy always calls everything Markham-ish, which is his new brand because again, everything just melds together. So research-wise, most of the municipalities are engaged in research. The town of Stouffville, a couple of months ago, Christina held a presentation for local businesses, which was really great. Town of Georgina is doing a lot of research. Currently, this is this year, but they're doing some research to see if one of their recent tourism decisions is working or not. So different ways you can use research has been really helpful. And then, of course, marketing. We're in the process of building a cheer trail, which is alcohol producers in York Region, and working as a team, all the IRMs and Chuck on a museum and heritage program. And then working with our marketing team, as always, on articles and seasonal stakeholder highlights and photo shoots and things like that. What's ahead in 2026? Markham Indy is the biggest thing happening in York Region, obviously. It is coming in August, and there's a ton of stuff already happening with that. Very excited about it. Also currently FIFA, obviously, and Vaughan is holding a massive watch party in July, so that'll be cool. We have a new sports dome coming in Stouffville, biggest in Canada. That is going to be very cool. Sports tourism is really taking off in York Region. New Palladium opening at Vaughan Mills, and just from a CCT perspective, more and more networking events and connections. I love connecting people and making collaborations work. So we'll just keep doing a lot of that. Thanks, Jack.
Perfect. And on to Lisa from somewhere way out west at the CTA.
Yeah. I'm Lisa John McKenzie. For anybody I haven't met, I think I know everybody. So I manage Durham Region. Durham Region is a very exciting place to be, I think. We have the luxury of having the region as our tourism partner, so the Durham Tourism, as well as all of the municipalities now have their tourism plans in place, with the exception of Clarington. But the exciting news is Clarington has plans as well to put a placemaking plan in place, and some new focus on tourism, which is great. And they are also implementing MAT, which would mean all of our bigger municipalities will have MAT, and all of our municipalities across the region will have plans in place and resources allocated towards tourism. So with that, we're seeing, I think, the partnerships get building and getting stronger. So between central counties and the region and the municipalities and the stakeholders, things are all coming together. So this year we're seeing a lot of the impact of that through the collaborations that are happening. So with the tourism plans in place, we are supporting a lot of the output, a lot of the initiatives that have come out of those tourism plans through partnership. Getting people in the room through networking meetings. Our networking meetings are expanding from just municipalities to now across the region. So we just completed a North Durham tri-municipality networking meeting in partnership with the North Durham Chamber, which is the first time we've done that. Hosting or also attending a lot of the networking meetings with the larger municipalities and supporting meeting all of the stakeholders in those. Lots of highlights for this year across the region. So Durham region is again reaching across the municipality to be creating cool new projects and initiatives. So the Durham region cycling route has just launched by Durham region, and that's across the region in terms of signage and routes that they've established and implemented. The Way Home Bus Tour was another initiative experience that was film-related tour that went throughout the region. Pickering's doing great things with their new Dorsey Cultural and Heritage Center. Pickering has implemented their mat tax, and there's lots of really cool things to come in the future for Pickering. Uxbridge Urban Provincial Park. I don't. This list is by no means complete, but just a few of the highlights from some of the stakeholders. Continuing on with some of the products in terms of routes and tours, such as the Whitby food tours, and in the future or what's ahead for this year. We'll be developing out some of those tours, such as the Railway Route Tour, which Durham Tourism is leading, and also has a component from Central Counties implementing our AVTR1 avatar with that route. We're also working with the stakeholders of Scugog Island to develop a route. So those projects are part of our new partnership stream, which is CCT supported projects. So we're actually at the table to help with developing these projects, which is a great new way that we are operating with our stakeholders. Country Path is refreshing. Township of Brock is implementing a really cool new toolkit, which is an initiative that has come out of their plan. I think I mentioned the others. And then the other thing is some amazing award-winning events. So I think we had six or seven there, award-winning events for our region. So yeah, those are some of the highlights from Durham.
Perfect. Thank you, Lisa. All right, and over to Rebecca in Headwaters.
Hello, everyone. Yeah, I'm excited to be here. So my recap for 2025, I just kind of started in January, so I can't take ownership to any of these things. But in Erin, Marina was working on the visitor growth plan, so it was finalized. Caledon, lots of exciting things are happening in Caledon. So there's a lot of new investment and growth happening. So there's a new hotel, Badlands Brewing, is kind of breaking ground on a new building, tap room, restaurant, and event space. Spirit Tree just did a really big relaunch and rebrand. And Caledon's hosting some pretty big events like the RBC Canadian Open. Town of Orangeville and the Orangeville BIA are doing really great stuff as well. So they created 2 new visitor hubs last year and started working with accommodations to promote people kind of hanging out in the region a lot longer. And then the Love Orangeville brand is growing really well, and they're doing a great job with it. Dufferin County did their Explore Dufferin guide, and it was very beautiful. And then last year we had about 15 partnership projects approved. So what's ahead for 2026? So this is all exciting things. So the visitor growth plan for Erin was just adopted by council last week. So Marina did a great job presenting it, and now let's see what part they start with. Caledon just hosted the Canadian Open, and it was a crazy success. So lots of people, I think it went really well. Orangeville and the Orangeville BIA are working on some big partnership projects. So those involve Orangeville's kind of doing a little bit of a rebrand, still keeping Love Orangeville, but adding an interactive calendar. Lots of great marketing ideas. And then the BIA is developing a new downtown vision strategy, and then growing the existing events that they've already got. Shelburne, we've got Fridays in the Park. So that is our downtown activation event. So the idea with it is to get folks downtown Shelburne enjoying live music, lots of family events. So last year they saw some pretty significant growth, and they discovered that every dollar they invested, they're getting $1.79 back into the local economy. So that's going to continue, and it's a really great fun event. And then Dufferin County. So this year it hasn't taken a turn the way I was excited about, but they've decided to take a step back from tourism. We have a new CAO coming in July. So the EDC team presented their recommendations in March, and they're just waiting for council to kind of give them direction. But we will stay tuned and see what comes of it. And then for partnership projects, we had 11 partnership projects approved, including 6 new stakeholders to partnerships. So I thought that was pretty fun and exciting. And then networking. I've got a couple of events in the works for the fall, so I'll keep you all tuned once the dates and times and stuff are all confirmed for those.
Perfect. And can you talk a little bit about this awesome new product that we launched?
Yeah, absolutely. So this was all started with a conversation between Phil from Goodlot and Chuck. They just chatted about how we have all these great breweries, cidery, winery in Headwaters, and we should kind of work to promote each other. So this is one of our CCT-led projects. So we're kind of the connecting piece, and then the stakeholders are doing all the hard work of serving the beer and cider and wine. So it's a beautiful little passport. So this is an image there of the stamp, or of the map, sorry. So once you visit all of our different stakeholders, there's a little stamp that you get. Once you complete your passport of the 8 stamps, then you can enter to win a prize. So it was really great. It was a very easy ask for all of our supporting partners. So the town of Caledon, Erin, Orangeville, and Orangeville BIA. We kind of presented the idea and they were like, absolutely, let's do it. So the idea is we want people to kind of tour through Headwaters, enjoy our beautiful landscape, but also stay overnight, visit a restaurant, tour downtown Erin, Orangeville, all those wonderful places. So it's just a really great example of how one tiny conversation, or maybe not tiny conversation, but one conversation can lead to a pretty great project. And we launched on the 30th. And June 8th, we had our first completed passport into our contest. So, and now we're actually running out of passports. So we've printed over 2,000 and they're almost all gone. I think I have 50 left on my desk here. So it's so far has been a really great success.
Yeah, it is very exciting, and I know that we're working on something similar in York, as Sarah mentioned, and we've got tons of projects ready to go. What's exciting about it to me is all of the different municipalities who are all on board. I get that it can sometimes be difficult for a municipality to get permission to do things that are outside of their borders, but I know that in Headwaters, these communities understand, and it's personally, I think one of us is going to have to put this up for an award somewhere, or some in many different places, because I think that it is groundbreaking in its ability to break down those walls between the communities. So I'm really quite excited about it. Okay. Thank you very much, Rebecca. And now, Sue, over to you. You ready?
Yeah, I'm ready. Here, let me get a take. Can you guys hear me okay, or I'm too soft?
No, we can hear you just
Which
fine.
I've never been accused of talking too softly. So, so for B2C this year, we did a lot. It was an exciting year because it brought a lot of change for us. One of the things that we really focused on from research that Tom has done and other research that I conducted within the tourism industry was we started to really reach. We wanted to reach out to new audiences, non-traditional audiences in non-traditional ways. And what I mean by that is we expanded our reach to travel influencers that are multicultural, that are 55 plus, and celebrity and niche audiences that are accessible through non-tourism influencers. And I'll explain that further in a minute. So at the beginning of last fiscal, we understood that the Ontario travel influencer marketing was starting to become repetitive in the industry or amongst social channels, with many destinations reaching the same audiences through the same influencers in the same way. So this year we shifted our approach to lifestyle creators, recognizable personalities like Patrick Roach, who's Ricky from the Trailer Park Boys, and niche communities that are outside of the typical tourism space, all of them were very successful, and we learn a lot from the actual influencers as well, especially the multicultural influencers about the places that we sent them and some suggestions that they had for our stakeholders. We focused on audiences that had strong travel potential, though, so we weren't, just picking people willy-nilly. But one of the funnest things we did that Jess really got behind, and as Jess always does, she excelled in it, was working with paranormal haunted travel fans through some paranormal groups, which was incredibly successful because we were able to increase our stakeholders, but the engagement level was so high. Jess isn't actually on the call because she's getting married in 2 days, but the paranormal travel content performed very well, and we actually amplified that through a relationship with Destination Ontario, where we saw the paranormal article on our website get over 28,000 complete article reads, which is astounding. The other thing that we did this year was we collaborated more and partnered with other associations and stakeholders, which resulted in us saving resources while increasing reach and amplifying our messages to shared audiences. We partnered with municipalities, associations, and stakeholders, and we were also able to extend the CCT budget by saving with our partners, and we're able to do more. Expand the audience reach, and share logistical responsibilities, which anyone who's worked with influencers knows that that's a lot of logistics are involved in organizing these trips. So we moved from independent marketing efforts to shared coordinated campaigns. And we really felt that this is the way that we should move forward for this fiscal, and we are. We worked with the associations that we worked with were Destination Ontario, the CTA, Ontario by Bike. We worked with DMOs, municipalities, and then the others, and Destination, of course, which that's always a successful partnership. The entire campaign, which was 5 weeks in market, resulted in 185,000 clicks to yorkdurhamheadwaters.ca with a high engagement and multiple page reads. Jess and I also worked with large-scale digital partners. So in the digital partners were Curiosity, Explore Ontario, and a few others, which allowed us to streamline content across the seasons without increasing our campaign capacity, without increasing our budget. So we got better deals with them because we were providing more opportunities with them throughout the year. It worked very well. It worked really well for us because we were able to save Jess's resources. We did one big plan, and Jess was able to work more closely with stakeholders to work with them on their own individual plans, which is so important because we try to do everything, but sometimes time restraints don't allow us to do that. Another thing that we did this year was we started the year looking at the amount of content that we had created over the past 8 years, which is when we launched our pyramid content model, which we still have. We're probably going to adjust it next year, but our content strategy was created around seasonal campaigns at the very beginning. But over the past 8 years, we've collected over 1,000 articles that are, for the most part, really, really still valid. They just need some refreshing. So we did an audit. We worked through Google Analytics to identify the top performing articles, and we were able to isolate and pull out those articles, refresh them, and then we started to sort them into content buckets for evergreen content planning. So traditionally we push the seasons, but now we're noticing a trend in longer lead trip planning. So now, and we just started last year in Q3, but we're going to continue to work on that this year. So when audiences come to the website in the summer to look at a trip for winter, they'll be able to easily access all of those articles and other information, and use the road trip planning tool, of course, to plot their trip. On the B2B side, Sandra was a rock star this year. Sorry, Chuck, I'm using rock star. I know that's your term, but she did a phenomenal job of improving centralcounties.ca She included more tools and resources for stakeholders just to make life easier for them when they come to the website. So they're able to, we know that stakeholders don't have a lot of time because they're always working in their business. So we performed an internal audit, and we looked at the website, and we identified ways that we could serve content to them in a better fashion, and it was easier for them to find it. So we also looked at the exploratory behavior on the site, and we used feedback, of course, from the IRMs, and stakeholders as well, that gave us some key information to help us on our way. She also worked really hard on the dashboard, which we launched, I think, a couple of years now. I think Sandra's on the call, but a couple of years ago now. But the dashboard looks incredible. We've actually gotten compliments from some of our software vendors about how amazing it looks. When you look at it, it gives our stakeholders a more holistic and comprehensive view of what they look like just to visitors, potential visitors on the website, and they can see what their relationship is with CCT. So, from the Learning Lab to see what courses they completed, and what opportunities that they've been taken advantage of. She's also successfully integrated for the first time, that's information through Cloudinary, into the dashboard. So you're able to access the image bank right through that dashboard now. And I might skip ahead in a second to the image bank just because I'm talking about it right now. So the Cloudinary is our new image bank, a phenomenal image bank. And Sandra spent the past year looking at, I want to say like almost 30,000 images that we've collected, retagging them, sorting them in a more clear way for stakeholders for search. And that took a long time. so I'm really, kudos to Sandra. And this new Cloudinary image bank will allow stakeholders to search all our assets and build collections for them, to search all of their assets and download, but also we can create collections for them, which Sandra's created quite a few. So our stakeholders, this is based on the board retreat feedback about sharing with stakeholders the images that we're using in our campaigns. So that's all up there in the collections. Sandra also launched the media room, which is something that we've been wanting to do, which lists all of the news releases that have been going out to press. And then it also has some intake forms for media and influencers if they want to work with us. So they get more of their information. It's easier for Jess and myself to to filter out who's our best bet to work with. And as always, the image bank is, the newsletter gets better and better every year. Our open rate is 47%, which is well above industry standards. So that's directly due to Sandra's incredible content and her ability to put the right information for our stakeholders in that newsletter at the right time. And our high value partnership opportunities remain quite successful with the co-op as well. And so Globe and Mail Co-op continues to sell out. And then Sandra's also able to serve stakeholders with opportunities for research, our paid programs, which is Research Avatar 1, and also give them other funding and grant opportunities from other associations. Next slide, Chuck. Sorry, I know I always talk a lot. So looking forward, we're going to continue to grow those collaborations with partners and digital publishers because it's just seems to be working well, and it's we're able to reduce a lot of the logistical workload without sacrificing quality. We just Carrie, our old PR vendor, has left. She's had a grandbaby, so we have a new PR assistant that's going to be working with us. So we are going to turn up our PR program and become more aggressive at getting more broadcast opportunities and radio opportunities for our stakeholders. Media is actually reaching out to us now, which is fantastic. We are relaunching the Ultimate Road Trip, which was our campaign up until 2022, which had switched for a couple of years. But based on internal feedback, we are going back to the Ultimate Road Trip, and we have a new branded word mark for that. Summer is going to be our first Ultimate Road Trip campaign. And then we are launching the B2B AI concierge for stakeholders. Sandra's been working really hard with Haven Destinations, and that AI concierge is going to help also additionally help stakeholders find content organically. So I think I've talked about this before, but if somebody wants to find, I want to write a grant for Ontario Arts Council, I need to know about research, grant writing, social cues, measurement. It'll serve up the stakeholder all of the educational content and the information through articles that they need to get that done. And then we're going to continue to strengthen those digital tools. We're going to bring an AI concierge into the yorkdurhamheadwaters.ca for the same purpose of finding visitors finding what they need immediately. And then we're going to increase the evergreen content for visitors for long lead planning. Sorry, I know that was a lot longer than I expected, Chuck, but
that's okay, Sue. It's all good information. Okay, we are going to pass the mic over to Mohammed, who is our newest member of the team, who's going to be working diligently to launch AVTR1. It has been a long time in the making. I cannot believe how difficult this software and app was to develop and try to work out the glitches. Obviously, I'm not a software engineer. I just thought it would be very simple, and it turned out it was not. And now Mohammed is here to bring it to the world. Go ahead, Mohammed.
Good day, everyone. So thank you, Chuck, for introduction. So that's not required. Right. So AVTR is building momentum through a combination of product development, sales readiness, and strategic partnerships. And to support the growth of AVTR1, Central Counties Tourism has welcomed me as the AVTR1 sales specialist. And my focus has been on building the sales foundation, identifying opportunities, developing sales tools, and creating a pipeline that will support. Sorry, Susan, I think you have something.
Oh, sorry, no. So I meant to clap. I meant to clap. I hit the hand button. Yay! There you go. Yeah, sorry.
Nice. Thank you. So yeah, I was creating a pipeline that will support short-term opportunities and long-term growth. Generally, a dedicated sales resource allows Central Counties Tourism to focus on expanding market reach, strengthening industry relationships, and generating new business opportunities. Over the past several weeks, we have developed a comprehensive Ontario sales database with over 450 potential prospects within Ontario. These include the RTOs, DMOs, BIAs, wineries, universities, especially those with mascots, attractions, and other tourism stakeholders. This database will serve us as the foundation for our outreach and business development efforts moving forward in the months ahead. In addition to Ontario opportunities, we are exploring international growth through a pull strategy. So rather than focusing solely on outbound sales, we are investigating opportunities to leverage Canada's Trade Commissioner services and international networks to create awareness of AVTR1 and attract potential reseller, distributor, and partnership opportunities from overseas markets. From the sales enablement perspective, AVTR1 sales presentation and demo deck are complete, ensuring a consistent and professional approach to client presentations. In parallel, our experience creation manuals have been updated and supported with a new video training series to simplify onboarding and improve the client experience. Thanks, Chuck, for the voice. And we have also introduced a fee-for-service model for script development, recording, subtitle creation, and experience building to support clients who require additional implementation assistance. On the project side, the railway routes experience is ready to go live thanks to Lisa, and I think she has already mentioned. And this represents another important milestone for the platform. And we have also received confirmation to deliver AVTR1 services at Parkwood Estate, providing another valuable showcase of technology in action. And finally, AVTR1 gained slight visibility through partnership and logo sponsorship at the Workplace Leadership Conference Toronto. That helped increase awareness of the platform among business and community leaders. Overall, our focus remains on growing awareness, building a strong sales pipeline, supporting successful client implementation, and positioning AVTR1 for scalable growth both within Ontario and beyond. Thank you. That's from my side, and I think over to Tom.
Yeah, it will be over to Tom. Yeah, Mohammed is doing a great job of doing
Thank
it.
you, Chad.
And one of the things we did discuss, knowing how busy everyone is, I think one of the hangups has been, boy, where do we start? And we've got a lot of expertise now on script development and voiceover work and all that sort of stuff. So instead of, you know, those businesses that are ready to go and want to learn how to do it themselves, more power to you. I think it's going to be awesome because then it'll be in your own voice and all that sort of stuff. However, if you are you are tentative but have the content ready to go, you let us know and we'll figure out how to launch it for you so that it is ready to go the way you need it and the way you need it to look and the way you need it to sound. The Railway Routes project will be a good example of that. In that I am the voice of engineer Bradley, and have recorded 15 different scripts, and we're ready to launch very, very soon. All right. So if you haven't already, reach out to Mohammed and let's figure out how you can use it in your business. There is a myriad of ways. It was a lot of fun when we were at Parkwood and did a quick demo. And then we said, well, just start with 3 QR codes and do 3 stories. And before we were gone, they had like 15 or 20 different ideas of where they could use it and how they could use it. And I said, let's start slow. Let's start with 3, and then you can expand from there. So the possibilities really are endless with this new product. All right, Tom, you ready? It's over to you.
I am. Thank you. Thanks, Chuck, and thanks again, Mohammed, and welcome to the team. So my name is Tom Gerquin. I'm the Manager of Research and Development for Central Counties. I've been with the team now for about 8 years now and really kind of push research moving forward. So first thing, just want to address that research is confusing, research is hard, and takes a lot of time. First, you have to create a research plan, collect the data, compile the results, analyze them, understand the analysis, provide recommendation, present it to various audiences, and then takes action. Sounds like a lot of fun, right? Well, for me, actually, it is a lot of fun. You know, one of our goals this past year was to increase research literacy. So through it's an ongoing process, but we've been working on this goal through delivery of various presentations, workshops this past year, both within our region and outside of our region as well, as mentioned in various local newspaper articles, a couple of Google alerts there, and my lovely unfocused picture there as well when I was speaking to RTO 12. So I regularly write research articles in our B2B newsletter. We started doing research webinars as well. And I've also been providing research training to actually other RTOs who don't have a Tom like Chuck Hattis and me. So
everyone else is very jealous, Tom.
I know. I just don't want to say that out loud.
Yes, you're right. That's my job to say.
Thanks, Chuck. So, I mean, our research really has helped municipalities solve problems with research, actually looking at what some of the problems are and how we can solve it. So with our overarching research, our goal is to help you, our stakeholders, understand visitation within our region and the municipalities within it. So this includes knowing how many visitors travel to our municipalities and region from 40 plus kilometers. Where are they coming from to validate where everyone should be spending money on marketing to the right target markets? When they're coming as well, that's important because then we can address seasonality and identify any opportunities to build up the off-peak and shoulder seasons, the times of the year that we're not as busy and we have supply to build up to have that demand increase, as well as really help municipalities with various case studies that are backed by empirical data and not just by anecdotal stories. So actually like validating who's coming, who's not coming, how to reach them, and seeing that success grow throughout the years. Of course, there are some limitations like the weather. We can't really change that. So that impacts some of our hotel data, which will be mentioned in the upcoming B2B newsletter article. As well as looking at exploring new data and new research. So I sit on a few national boards and committees, and I work with our partners and vendors to really get the best tourism research out there for our industry, but especially for our region and our municipalities, which brings us to our new research tools. So in Q4, we launched our overnight visitation program, which I'll talk about in the next couple slides. As well, I've been working on this for quite a bit of time, that we're actually going to be getting same-day visitor data. That's coming August 2026, not 25. Sorry about the typo there. So it's hopefully coming this August. The data is being launched it's being launched in the next couple months, but I gotta test it out and make sure we're good, and then we're going to be including it to our visitor research program. So check next slide there. So now, like I said, we launched our overnight data in Q3. Now, this overnight data, it actually includes everyone traveling 40 plus kilometers into our region. So if you're staying at hotel, resort, Airbnb, short-term rental, friends and family on someone's couch, second home, this overnight data actually records that on where people are coming from, as well as their segmentation, which we'll talk about in a second. And our new data, which is coming, Chuck, next slide. Sorry, next, yeah. So again, it's coming August 2026. So it's going to be looking at visitors who are coming into our region and municipalities that are staying more than 2 hours. So they're not just driving through, they're spending a minimum of 2 hours in the region. And we're able to look at who's actually coming during the day. And if we're able to partner that up with overnight data, we're actually going to get a very complete picture of what visitation looks like in our municipalities and into the region as well. So again, like these two products, I've been working the back end for quite a few years. The overnight data, it's when our partners in Bronx Analytics, when they originally launched it, it was 60 kilometers. I'm like, guys, I need 40 kilometers. And I've been pushing that for about 4 or 5 years. So like it is working. So now we're getting 40 plus for both overnight and same day. And again, same day will be 2 hours plus. And Chuck, next slide. So this is just a sample of what our overnight data looks like, which starts at 1995. And it gives you a full picture of what overnight visitors look like, going through 5 different measurements of looking at the number of nights, which is how many nights they stay in our region or municipality throughout the year, number of trips, number of unique visitors, nights per trip, and nights per visitor, looking at Canada and the US. For Canada, we can look at provinces and also by municipalities. For US, we're only limited to the states, but it's interesting to see how those numbers change throughout the years, as Chuck mentioned in one of his earlier slides. And next slide. And now this is just our overall research programs that we offer. Like I said, overnight visitors, we just mentioned. Our geofencing will continue, as well as postcodes and hotel data for the municipalities who want to look at just the hotel numbers, like looking at metrics like occupancy, revenue, average daily rate, and revenue per available room as well. And any questions, feel free to contact me at any point.
Oh, look at that. And we're done. This was awesome. Okay, I'm going to stop sharing. And if anyone in the audience has any comments, if you just type them into the chat, and then we can answer them for you. Might take a second to do. It was a good presentation, Tom. Thank you. Oh, and Angela, you don't need
On time too.
you can talk because
Okay,
you've got speaking privileges.
I just wanted to again thank the team. It always I'm even speechless about the amount of work this team does, and as you can see, it's just mind-boggling. And I just want to thank every single one of you on the team. I know you all put in so much time and effort to really bring everything forward and support our stakeholders, and the numbers really speak for themselves. And thank you again. And I think one of the words that really stood out to me as everybody was speaking is collaboration. So again, like Chuck mentioned, it is not about competition, it's about collaboration. It's about being stronger together. And I think it's amazing what Headwaters, the roots. I know I'll be definitely doing it. I have some family coming from Europe, so we'll be going on that cider and brews tour. They're all coming from the Czech Republic, so they'll all get beer expert feedback. But amazing work, everybody. I just wanted to say so to the stakeholders on this call. Please again reach out, work together. I think it's amazing. I'm so proud of Central Counties, of this team, of the staff, of the board, and thank you for municipalities working together. Thank you to the ministry for your support for everything. That's it. I'm going to stop talking.
That was well said. All right. Well, with that, I think we can call this AGM and
Wait, I think there's a chat in there. I think
there was.
Jonathan.
It was just
Yeah.
it was John. I thought it was Jonathan who was talking about the research presentation. So we are good.